I caught her friends convincing her to fake a breakup to test me. When she said, "It's over," I played along. But what they didn't know is, I already had proof. So I decided to make them all regret it. My name is Daniel. I'm 24 years old. And I used to think Sophie was the love of my life. We had been together for 2 years. I met her at a bookstore. She was standing in the fiction section, flipping through a book I had just read. I made a silly joke about the ending and she smiled. That smile changed my life. Sophie was sweet. Or at least she used to be. But not everyone wanted to see us happy. Her 2 best friends, Maya and Talia, never liked me. From day one they looked at me like I didn't belong. Maybe it was because I wasn't rich. Maybe it was because I didn't wear designer clothes or drive a fancy car. But I worked hard. I treated Sophie right. That should have been enough. Maya was loud. Always had something slick to say. Talia was quiet but dangerous. The type to whisper poison and smile while doing it. They never said anything directly to me, but I saw the way they looked at each other when I walked in. I heard them giggle after I spoke. One time I brought Sophie lunch at her job, and Maya actually rolled her eyes and muttered, "That's cute, I guess." Sophie would always say, "They're just protective, that's all." But deep down, I knew they were planting doubts in her head. Still, I loved her. And when you love someone you try. You trust, even when things don't feel right. Then came the day everything changed. It was a Saturday. I woke up early and decided to surprise her. I had just gotten paid, so I bought her flowers and her favorite pastries. I wanted to make her smile. That was all I ever wanted, to see her happy. When I got to her apartment, the front door was closed but not locked. She always forgot to lock it when she was rushing around. I pushed it open quietly, planning to sneak in and yell, "Surprise!" in that goofy voice she loved. But I never made it past the hallway. Because I heard voices. Hers. And her friends. They were in her bedroom, talking like they didn't have a care in the world. Froze. Maya's voice was loud and clear. "Just break up with him for like a week. If he comes crawling back, then you'll know he really loves you." Then Talia added, "Yeah. If he doesn't fight for you, then he was never serious." My heart started pounding. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Then Sophie's voice came. Nervous. "Okay, but what if I push him away forever?" The 3 of them laughed. And Maya said, "Then at least you'll know the truth." I felt like the floor had been pulled from under me. I had come with flowers. They were testing my loyalty like I was a dog. I wanted to walk in and scream. I wanted to ask her how she could do this. But instead, I stood still. Frozen. Quiet. Then something inside me changed. Not sadness. Not even anger. Just stillness. If this was how they wanted to play, I'd play along. But I wouldn't play to lose. I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't chase someone who had to test me just to believe me. I backed out of the apartment slowly. The door never even creaked. I walked to my car, threw the flowers in the back seat, and sat there in silence for 10 minutes. My hands were shaking, but my mind was clear. They wanted to see if I'd fight to stay. I was going to show them what it looked like when someone walks away without a word. I didn't text her that day. I didn't call. I didn't even check her social media. I just waited. Because I knew what was coming. She was going to break up with me. Pretend to be heartbroken. Wait for me to cry and beg and promise her the world. But I wasn't going to give her what she expected. Well, I was going to give her silence. The next day my phone buzzed. It was her. "Sophie. Hey, can we talk?" I smiled sadly. "Here we go." I looked at her message and just stared at it for a while. "Hey, can we talk?" It was short. Like nothing had happened. I knew what this was. The beginning of the test. She was going to fake a breakup and wait to see if I'd come chasing after her like a little lost puppy. I wasn't going to give her that. I didn't reply. Not yet. That afternoon she showed up at my door. She didn't even knock at first, just stood there. When I opened it, she smiled like nothing was wrong. "Hey," she said, brushing her hair behind her ear. "Hey," I said back, calm, careful. She stepped inside like she had done it 1,000 times before. I didn't move. I just let her speak first. So, she started, acting like she didn't rehearse this part already. I've been thinking, and I don't know if we're working out. I said nothing. Just looked at her. She bit her lip and added, I feel like maybe we need space. Time apart. I nodded slowly. Okay. She blinked. Okay. Yeah, I said, my voice steady. If that's how you feel, then. Okay. Take care, Sophie. Her smile faded. Wait, what? I stepped aside and opened the door wider. You can go now. Her eyes moved back and forth like she was searching for the script, like I'd skipped a page. You're not going to say anything. She asked. You're just going to let me walk away. I didn't say a word. Her mouth opened slightly like she wanted to speak, but no words came out. I could see the panic in her eyes, the confusion. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. I wasn't playing the role they had written for me. She stepped out slowly, turned to face me one more time and said, You really don't care, do you? I looked at her one last time. I cared more than you'll ever know. But this is not love. Then I closed the door. I didn't slam it. I didn't cry. I just shut it quietly and locked it. Then I blocked her number. I went to my room, sat on the floor, and let my heart breathe. It didn't even hurt like I thought it would. Because the moment I heard her agree to fake that breakup, my heart had already started packing its bags. The next morning I saw it. Video. Maya and Talia posted a TikTok with that same smug energy they always had. They sat on a couch with Sophie in the background, looking sad and dramatic like a soap opera star. Maya said, So she broke up with him. Talia cut in. And guess what? He didn't even fight for her. They laughed. I didn't. I watched the video over and over, not because I was hurt, but because I was shocked at how far they were willing to go. They were proud. They really thought they were clever. They believed they won. Comments started pouring in. He's weak. Real men fight for love. She deserves better if he didn't even try. Everyone online was talking like they knew the whole story. But they didn't. They didn't know that I was standing outside that bedroom door. They didn't know I heard the whole thing. And they didn't know. I had proof. Because that day I came to surprise Sophie, I wasn't just holding flowers. I was also on a video call with my cousin when I walked in. My phone was still recording when I stopped outside her room. I had audio of the entire conversation. Every word. Every giggle. Every lie. I didn't plan it. I didn't even realize it had recorded until later that night. But when I played it back I felt a strange kind of peace. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overthinking. I wasn't paranoid. They really did plan it. They really did test me like I was a toy in their little game. I didn't post the audio right away. I waited. I wanted them to be comfortable. I wanted them to think they had won. That's when the fall hurts the most. When you're standing too high. Sophie didn't try to contact me again. At least, not through her number. I guess she thought I would come around on my own. I didn't. Instead, I started writing down everything I was feeling. Every emotion. Every thought. Every memory. Because sometimes when your heart gets too full, the only way to carry it is by pouring it out. I remembered how I once helped Sophie study all night for a job interview. How I showed up to her birthday party with homemade cupcakes because I couldn't afford a cake. How I gave her my jacket in the rain, even though I was freezing. And yet, she still let her friends talk her into pretending to leave me, to see if I was real. That's when I realized something. If someone needs to break your heart to see if it beats for them, they never really cared about it in the first place. That night, I opened my editing app, imported the voice recording, and cut out the parts that mattered. It was just a 30-second clip. But it said everything. I didn't add names. I didn't say who it was. But if you knew them, you knew. I wasn't doing it for attention. I wasn't doing it to be petty. I was doing it because the truth matters. And some people only learn when the truth hits them in front of an audience. I posted the clip at midnight. No caption. No hashtags. Just the truth. In the audio you could clearly hear Maya say, "Just break up with him for a week. If he comes crawling back, you'll know he's serious." Then Talia's voice followed. "If he doesn't chase you, then he never cared." And then Sophie's quiet voice, unsure but still agreeing. "Okay. But what if I push him away forever?" Their laughs filled the rest of the clip. It was soft, clear, cold. I didn't expect anything big to happen. I just needed to get it off my chest. But the internet had other plans. By morning, the video had over 20,000 views. By afternoon, it crossed 100,000. By the end of the day, it was everywhere. People in the comments were shocked, furious, heartbroken for me, and they didn't even know my name. This is why men stop loving out loud. Manipulative friends ruin good things. He deserves so much better. I hope he finds peace. This girl lost a real one. And then, people started putting the pieces together. Some recognized the voices. One person commented, "Wait a minute. Is this Sophie's voice? Isn't she the girl in that loyalty test TikTok from 2 days ago?" Someone else replied, "OMG, I thought that sounded familiar. I think this is about Sophie and those two girls, Maya and Talia." It didn't take long before their names were trending, locally at least. Their TikTok video mocking me. People dug it up and reposted it under my audio. Suddenly the story flipped. They went from the girls testing love to the villains who manipulated a good guy and tried to make fun of him online. The comments on their page turned dark fast. "Y'all are bullies. He dodged a bullet. How do you sleep at night? What kind of friends make you fake a breakup to test someone's love?" I didn't comment on anything. I didn't repost. I didn't tag them. I stayed quiet. But inside I was finally breathing. Not because they were being dragged, but because the truth was finally louder than the lie. Sophie tried to do damage control. She turned her Instagram account private, deleted her TikTok, removed her tagged photos. But it was too late. The internet never forgets. Someone sent me screenshots from her Instagram story before she deleted it. She had posted a black screen with white text that said, "I never meant for this to happen. I was told it was just a harmless test. I made a mistake. Please stop attacking me." People weren't buying it. Because love isn't something you play with. And trust isn't something you test by breaking it. Then came the message I wasn't expecting. A girl named Zoe, who followed Maya on TikTok, made a long post saying Maya had been toxic to her too. She said Maya often talked about breaking couples up just to see if they'd survive. More girls came forward with stories about Maya being controlling, manipulative, even cruel. Soon Maya started losing followers fast. Talia stayed quiet, but the silence made her look just as guilty. And then the real hit came. Someone messaged me saying Maya had just lost a brand deal. Apparently, she had been working with a small skincare company that focused on empowering women and building confidence. But when they saw the video and the backlash, they dropped her. Publicly. They posted on their page, "We do not support manipulation or bullying in any form. As of today, we are no longer working with Maya." Felt like justice. Not the loud, angry kind. The quiet, clear kind that just says, "You messed with the wrong person." And through all of it, I stayed silent. I didn't text Sophie. I didn't message Maya or Talia. I didn't gloat. I just watched. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I wanted peace. And peace came when the truth finally stood up for me. I spent the next few days off my phone. Took long walks. Read books. Slept better. And then, just when I thought it was over, got a message. Came from an unknown number. But I knew who it was. "Hi. It's me. Sophie. I know you blocked me. Understand. But please, can we talk?" I stared at the message for a long time. Not because I was confused, but because I felt nothing. No butterflies. No anger. No pain. Just stillness. She followed up with another message. "I didn't know it would go this far. I'm so sorry. Please, Daniel, just hear me out." It was the first time in 2 years that she used my full name in a text. And still, I didn't reply. She tried again the next day. I miss you. Messed up. I just want to explain. I didn't need her explanation. I had already heard it. Through her door. In her own voice. I wasn't the same person anymore. I wasn't the guy waiting for her to choose me again. Because when someone tries to break you just to see if you'll put yourself back together for them, they were never on your side to begin with. It was quiet for some time. Almost peaceful. I blocked Sophie from everywhere and her friends too. I deleted all our old photos and stopped checking her page. I focused on myself, woke up early, worked out, stayed busy. But one morning I saw a message pop up from an unknown number. Hey! It's me. Please don't block this one. I need to talk to you. I stared at the screen for a long time. I didn't reply. That same day another text came. I messed up. I know I did. Please. I didn't know it would go this far. I still didn't respond. Later that night a voice message came in. I sat on my bed, stared at the ceiling and hit play. It was Sophie. Her voice cracked. Hey. I guess you're not talking to me and I don't blame you. But I wanted to say I'm sorry. What I did was stupid. I thought it was just a joke. Just something to test your love. But now I realize. It was cruel. I lost you. And I miss you every day. I miss your hugs. I miss hearing you laugh. I miss your safe arms. Sorry. I really am. Please don't hate me. Then silence. I sat there for a while. Not angry. It felt like I had already cried all my tears. Now there was nothing left but understanding. Sophie wasn't evil. But she listened to the wrong people. She didn't trust me enough to protect what we had. That was the real pain. I thought about how happy we were before her friends got involved. How we danced barefoot in my kitchen. How she used to wear my hoodies. How she called me my calm in the storm. I remembered the way she said, "It's over," pretending like she meant it. And how I smiled, walked away, and didn't look back. She didn't know that by playing that little test, she had lost something real. Later that night I sent her one final message. Kept it short. I heard your voice message. Forgive you. But I can't come back. Some things can't be tested. I didn't wait for a reply. I blocked her again. And that night, for the first time in a long time, I slept like a baby. No pain in my chest. No overthinking. Just peace. 'Cause for once I chose me. 3 years passed. Not 1. Not 2. 3 full years. A lot can change in that time. And trust me, I changed. I started my own business. Nothing fancy at first, just fixing phones and laptops from a corner shop. But I kept growing. Learning. Pushing. I turned that little corner shop into a tech company. Now I had 5 branches, a team of 20 people and big clients. I drove a clean black SUV, wore suits that fit right, and finally moved my mom into a better apartment. Life was good. One afternoon, I was invited to speak at a youth event about starting from nothing. I walked onto the stage, confident, smiling. Cameras flashing. People clapping. And there she was, Sophie, sitting in the 3rd row. Hands tight on her lap. Eyes wide. She looked the same but also different. Her light was dimmer. Her shoulders weren't as straight. And she wasn't wearing that proud smile anymore. After the talk, I was swarmed with people taking selfies, asking questions. Sophie stood at a distance, just watching. When the crowd thinned out, she finally walked up. "Hey," she said, soft and unsure. "You look amazing." I smiled kindly. "Thank you, Sophie. You look good too." Awkward silence. Then she dropped her eyes. "I heard about everything you're doing. I've been following from afar. I'm happy for you." He nodded. "Appreciate that. I just wanted to say again, I'm sorry for what I did. I was stupid. I lost someone rare." I took a deep breath. I wasn't angry. Not anymore. Just at peace. "It's okay," I said gently. "We were young. We all make choices." She swallowed. "I made the wrong one." Before I could respond, someone tapped my shoulder. It was my fiancée, holding a smoothie and smiling at me. She was beautiful, warm-hearted, and everything I had ever wanted in a woman. She looked Sophie's way and said politely, "Hi, I'm Tasha." "You are?" Sophie's face froze. She didn't answer. I turned, smiled at Tasha, and took her hand. "Babe, this is Sophie. An old friend." Tasha nodded. "Nice to meet you." Sophie forced a smile and said nothing more. We walked away, hand in hand. And that was it. No revenge plan. No angry speech. Just a full circle. The same girl who tried to test my loyalty, now standing alone, watching the man she lost walk away with a woman who never played games. That was the sweetest revenge. Not because I wanted to hurt her, but because I healed. And I grew. And I learned. Real love doesn't need tests. And the right one will never ask you to prove your worth. They'll already know it. Then, let me know your thoughts about this story. Did you think Daniel should have forgiven her?